Today, I'll be transforming this piece of glued scraps into a fire hammer. My first objective for this build is to make a basic shape, on which I'll later draw on my design. The idea for this part is to have something like a big stone. That would be the base of this hammerhead, and on the sides are flames that are engulfing the stone, almost like they are emerging from the flat striking area. Or in other words, it's supposed to be a big hammer with a fire enchant. Now the sculpting phase is done, at least for this part, and normally this is where I would sand or paint it, but not this time, because at this stage is where the fire aspect of this build will truly happen. This is exactly what I had in mind, charred but not too damaged. However, in this state it is too brittle, so now I'm sealing it with epoxy resin. The burning process made some of the flames a little less recognizable, and there are some wide openings here and there, which is where the glue was, and I didn't really expect this to happen. To be honest, I had no idea what to expect, but I think all these openings added a lot of nice details. I decided to give this 2 coats of resin, so this will take a while to cure. So let's move on to the other parts of this hammer. As you can see, the handle is curved, because it fits better with the way we fire theme, and this will once again be power carved. But first, my brother prepared the individual pieces, and those have to be glued together and joined with strong wooden pins to properly hold this whole handle together. While that will be drying for the next 24 hours, let's move back to the hammerhead. This is a contraption made from 3 very sharp and pointy spikes to hold the hammerhead in an upside down position, because the bottom part has not been sealed yet. This hammer is obviously not usable for anything that a real hammer of this size would be used for, so it is just a decorational piece. But it is yet another way of using the piles of wood scraps that we have, and also I just wanted to make a big hammer. When it comes to axes, hammers, anything two-handed, the handle should have a proper shape, so that the tool is used to maximum efficiency. And for this handle, I wanted to have more of a fantasy weapon shape that could still be maybe useful. Now I'm trying to add some design elements to make this handle more fantasy styled, specifically to achieve the look of stylized wood, with all its wavy cracks and patterns, but I'm not sure if I succeeded, because it looks more like just some engraved patterns rather than a stylized wood texture, but at least it's something to look at. The handle and pommel are both ready for assembly. Again, I'm adding a pin and a generous amount of glue, and I'll let it cure for 24 hours. And now I can return to this. I just have to gently get it out of this contraption, trying not to scratch anything, because I grinded those metal points to be very sharp. And one last thing for this part is to make a hole to connect it to the handle. Only a few more steps remain, so now I'll add some finishing touches to the handle. I wasn't very satisfied with the look of those grooves, because the charring on them didn't seem very uniform and it highlighted some sanding marks, so I decided to resand those engraved grooves again, like this one. It kinda stands out now, but I think it looks pretty good, because now it has some much needed color contrast. I originally wanted to put epoxy resin onto the handle, just like the hammerhead, so that it would look even, but knowing that the charred wood soaked in resin like it's nothing, it would take like 2 to 3 coats, and it would probably be more difficult and time consuming to set it up and wait for curing. So I opted for adding a regular wood oil, which took 4 coats and dried quickly. The resin has a shinier gloss than the handle, so there is a difference in the final look. But this project gave me a couple of new experiences that will be beneficial for future projects. And overall, I think the hammer looks pretty good. So let's see how it looks finally completed.